are lots of things all around us, exciting things that surround us.
But how does it work?
Do you know?
How is it made?
Do you know? Things that go up, things that go down, things that go pop, things that go round, with special cameras to show you inside. It's going to be a big surprise.
But how does it work?
Do you know?
How is it made?
Do you know? Do you know?
Let's find out!
Hello, I'm Maddie, and today I'm by the river. It's a huge river called the Humber, and lots of boats, big and small, use it every day. Today I'm going on a ride in a very special boat. It's a boat they use to help people if they get into trouble on the river. It's a lifeboat. And here it is. But do you know how a lifeboat works? Let's find out. How does it work?
Lifeboat.
The back of the boat is called the stern, and it's where these two engines are. And each engine turns one of these. It's a propeller, and the propeller spins in the water to push the lifeboat along really fast. You should never play near water or boats without a grown-up, but I've got special permission to go on board today. Wow, look! There is lots of equipment to help the lifeboat crew find and rescue people quickly. This is a chart plotter. It's a map of the river. And if you look here, you can see our position just there. And this is a compass. A compass shows the lifeboat which direction they're travelling in: north, south, east, or west. Sometimes it can be tricky for the lifeboat crew to spot people in the water, especially if it's at night, so they use a special camera to help them. It sits right up here at the back of the boat. It's called a thermal imaging camera. But how does a thermal imaging camera work? I think we need to take a closer look. When the lifeboat is sent out on a rescue mission, the thermal imaging camera is switched on. The camera measures thermal energy. That's either how hot, like our bodies, or cold, like the sea something is. It can see the thermal energy during the daytime and at night. The camera can be moved up and down, left and right, using a lever called a joystick. The picture from the camera is seen on a screen on board the boat. The hotter something is, the more heat or thermal energy it gives off. Our bodies are warm and give off lots of heat, and the camera will show this as a whitish grey colour. The river water is cold. This camera shows cold as red. So if a person is in trouble in the water, they can be spotted on the thermal camera, and the lifeboat crew can rescue them. Well, today, the lifeboat crew are doing a practice rescue, and they've given me permission to go with them. But to do that, I have to wear the right safety equipment. Because today is a practice rescue, Paul, one of the lifeboat crew members, is going to go in the water, and he's trained to do this. But so that we can see what the rescue looks like from the water, I'm going to put my special camera onto Paul's helmet. If this was a real rescue, the team would get a message from the Coast Guard and quickly get the boat out to sea. It's pushed into the water by a tractor until the water is deep enough to float in. We're on our way to go and find Paul. He's out there somewhere. Look, there's Paul. Can you see him on my special camera? Let's see how quickly the lifeboat crew can find him. Ian's using the chart plotter and the compass so that we go in the right direction in the water. And it looks like we're heading east. It is so fast. Can you see the two engines? They've lowered the propellers into the water. Woo! Where they're spinning around to push the lifeboat along quickly. They're noisy, aren't they?
controlling the thermal imaging camera at the back of the boat to see if he can find Paul in the water. And this screen is showing us the picture from the camera.
The river is so big, it's really hard to look for Paul with my own eyes, but the thermal camera can see Paul's warm body.
Look, can you see that on the screen? I think I can see something. Looks like a white blob, doesn't it? There he is! We found Paul!
The crew are trained to lift people safely and quickly onto the boat.
Paul is safely on the boat with the help of special safety equipment. What did you love most about seeing how a lifeboat works?
Do you remember the name of the special camera the crew used to find Paul? That's right, it was a thermal imaging camera. Did you hear the sound that Lifeboat made when it sped through the water? And do you remember what colour Paul looked on the thermal imaging camera? That's right, it was white.
Lifeboats are really useful vehicles, aren't they? And there are lots of useful vehicles that all do different jobs.
There are tow trucks to move broken down cars, combine harvesters to cut crops, and even lorries to mix concrete.
Concrete is really tough and very strong, so it's used to make buildings, like a house, and even roads to drive on.
And look, this massive bridge is made from concrete too.
But do you know how concrete is made? Let's find out.
How is it made?
Concrete.
Some of the materials we need to make concrete come from here, a quarry. A quarry is a place where rocks, sand and other materials can be dug out of the ground. And this one is massive.
Quarries can be dangerous. You should never go into one without a grown-up. But I've been given special permission to be here today.
This is gravel, and there is lots of it here. It's like being on a gravel mountain. Gravel is the main ingredient we need to make concrete.
Gravel is made up of thousands of tiny pieces of rock found underground. The next ingredient is sand.
And this sand is just like the sand you might find on a beach to make sandcastles with.
The gravel and sand are dug out of the ground in the quarry by a big digger, then scooped into the back of a dumper truck. The dumper truck pours it all into a tank called a hopper.
The sand and the gravel fall out of the hopper onto this, a conveyor belt. I wonder where all the sand and the gravel goes. Well, I've got my special camera with me, so we can find out. The conveyor belt moves pretty fast, so I wonder if we can make it to the end before the camera does. I've got another special camera with me, so I can bring you along to see if we can make it first. Wow, it really does move quickly. Let's see if we can catch the special camera. Can you see it? All the way over there. Are we going to make it to the end before the special camera? I don't know.
Ah, it's beaten us.
The sand and gravel falls through a tunnel underneath my feet and comes out here, where it then travels on a conveyor belt up to that enormous machine. And inside there, it falls onto a sieve. The sieve works so that the small pieces of sand fall through the holes, and the bigger pieces of gravel are trapped on top.
Look, there's the sand falling from the big sieve. And there's the gravel. But there's one more main ingredient we need to make concrete.
It's this grey powder. It's called cement. It's important not to get cement on your skin or in your eyes, so I'm wearing special gloves and glasses today. But when you add water to cement, it acts a little bit like a glue, so that when it dries, it hardens, and that holds all of the sand and gravel together, so it's really strong.
And this is where all the ingredients come together.
This entire building is one set of scales. And all of our dry ingredients go inside it to be weighed. It's a little bit like weighing the ingredients for a huge cake. Once the ingredients have been weighed, they travel along conveyor belts and pipes to the front of the building. And can you see those tanks there? That's where the water is stored.
The water will help bind all the ingredients together.
Wow. And they fall through this chute. But what do you think they fall into?
That's right. It's a concrete mixing lorry. And here it comes now.
Can you hear that grinding noise? That's the sound of all of the ingredients being mixed together inside the spinning drum. And it will keep on spinning and making that noise as it travels to a building site.
I'm going to ride on the mixing lorry to take the concrete to the building site. By the time it gets there, the concrete is ready to pour to help build a new road.
Craig's using a chute so that he can pour the concrete exactly where the builders need it.
And to pour it, Craig needs to stop the drum and spin it in the opposite direction.
Oh, here it comes. It's like it's going down a slide. The dry ingredients and the water have mixed together so the concrete is slushy, and that makes it easier to pour out and spread. But as soon as it dries, it will go hard and be really strong. What did you like most about seeing how concrete's made?
Do you remember what glues the concrete together? That's right, it's cement. Did you hear the sound of the spinning drum on the concrete lorry? And did you see my special camera when we put it on the conveyor belt?
So the next time you see a concrete mixing lorry, you'll know what's inside and how it was made. And now you know how a lifeboat works to rescue people from the water. Right, I'm going to go watch the builders finish spreading the concrete. I'll see you next time.